How's everyone doing today? My name is toorima. I'll be playing Final Fantasy Legend 2 today. Any percent glitchless. So before we begin, I will need chat to help me decide if I'm going to be doing human monster robot or human Esper monster robot. And I guess if you also want to, you can throw out some four-letter names that I could use for characters. 4 robots, huh? I mean, I've done it before, but I don't have time for that today. Not with our time limit. All right. I mean, there's only about like a couple minute, like 2-minute difference, so it should be okay. Human Esper, mix it up a little bit. Alright. Alright, I will begin I'll count down from 5, I guess. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the story of a bunch of people trying to find some magi. There you go. Hey, thanks for the good luck. 4 monsters is actually beatable, and it's actually a lot quicker than you would probably think. I think it's down to a 152, maybe? So, our dad jumps out the window, usually. He jumps out the window, and he is going to go find some magi and protect it. So we're just going to kind of hang out here. I will use Terra for the Esper for sure. I'm going to use Semi for the robot. Elmo. I can use Elmo for the monster. Alright, so we are going to we'll use Bic, I guess. We are going to look for our dad and see what is going on, because we have grown up now and he has left us. Alright, so we choose all females because they come equipped with agility-based weapons, and agility in this game is broken. Right away we unequip them and put them on the robot. We do this so the robot's agility increases. The agility gains stats based off of what it is equipped with. If you equip it with strength-based weapons, it'll gain strength. Agility-based weapons, it'll gain agility. We're going to get a lot of can't runs early in the game because it's based off of your agility. And so our team agility is not crazy high. The human and Espers gain stats based off of what weapon you use during the fight. And so if you use an agility-based weapon and the fight ends, you have a chance to gain an agility stat. If you use a strength-based weapon, you gain a chance to gain strength. Mana, same thing. The robot agility is in this game, like I said, it runs everything. The higher the agility, the order you go faster in turn order. Your chance to run faster, your chance to hit faster is higher, and your chance to dodge is higher. So that's why we just throw all agility weapons on the robot and just let him destroy everything for most of the game. The human will gain HP faster, and the chance to learn spells. So here's our first mini-boss. The game's very kind and gives you Mr. Asshur, who's way overpowered for where we are. Alright, so I actually got meat from the baby wyvern, so I should actually be able to run a little easier, because it gives me a monster that's kind of further ahead than where I usually am. The monster route for this route is pretty strict to what we try to do with the monster, so there's a couple of divergence you can do. When you don't have a companion on our team, like we had Mr. S earlier, you are able to run easier, so that's why I can just run from everything pretty much at the moment. Story long. We are still looking for our dad, so we come here to talk to Key. And she heals us, and we ask her about Magi, and she's like... We ask her about our dad, and she tells us that... Come on. She tells us that he did come here, but... Alright, well, I'll just save and reload, I guess. Since the fairy decided to just go through the door. Or just hang out at the door there. But so, she tells us that she saw someone, like our dad, going towards the relic of the ancient god. So, we are going there to go find, and see if we can find our dad. Yeah, the NPCs can, they're pretty good at blocking things sometimes. The monsters only change if you eat, meat in the game, so even if you fight tons of battles, they won't gain stats. I guess I didn't throw that out either. Most of the equipment we are getting, we're going to put either on the robot for agility-based things, or we're going to be selling them to buy more stuff for the robot. And all this banana talk, what is going on in chat? I don't get it. So just going through this cave, it's pretty straightforward. The whip we put on the robot to increase his agility some more, so... Also, with unequipping the human and Esper at the beginning, it's also, well, especially the human, besides giving the agility to the robot with the weapon, it also makes it so while you're picking what moves you're going to do during battle, you don't have anything equipped, so it kind of, you can skip over them a little faster. So here we're getting the first Magi, well, besides the one Dad gave us, we're getting Magi of the game, and it's not just a MacGuffin, you can actually equip it. So we're going to equip the speed one on the robot to give his agility even more, and we're going to put the mana one on the monster, because the monster is going to be using mana-based attacks eventually. So if we talk to those guys that are just like passed out there, they tell us that Ashura's men took the Magi, and then if we talk to them again, it says they're dead. So we are going to go tell Key what happened, because I mean, I guess it makes sense the most. So hopefully the fairy does not decide to block us this time. So we're just told we're going to the base, Ashur's base, and she's like, yeah, that's a great idea, I'll come with you. Alright, so we're going to go to Ashur's base now. Again, since we have a companion, running might be a little harder, but we will see because we got the baby wyvern meat, so it should be a little easier. In this area, if you accidentally talk to a zombie, for whatever reason, or if you run into them, you will get into a random encounter. So if you haven't noticed, the encounter rate in this game is very, very high. I think I remember reading or heard something about it that they made the encounter rate so high because the game is relatively short. So by having a high encounter rate, the game seems longer. Sometimes you'll go 3 battles in 4 steps, but then other times you'll go in big long walks like I just kind of did. And you don't get in battles. Man, this is I usually don't hear this much of this music. Alright, I'm gonna get this treasure. It's not needed, but I might as well get the extra gold just in case, since it is a marathon setting. It's just a silver gauntlet that we can sell for extra money. Here, there's an axe in this treasure chest, but it's not needed. Even marathon safety, it's not needed, so we just completely skip it. Because the off chance that you get into another battle and not able to run because you have key, so you just kind of skip it. Peanut butter sauce, man. I wasn't paying attention when we were talking about peanut butter sauce and fries earlier, I guess. So another mini boss, just a rhino. The robot could take it out pretty easily. So 2 things we would like to see is we would like to see the Esper learn either surprise or warning. If we get warning, we cannot get surprise attack during the game, and if we get surprise, we have a chance to get a surprise attack on the enemies. Which, fun fact, you can actually get a surprise attack on the last boss of the game. Alright, so that's the first world. Every world is connected by this celestial area. So onto the second world, which is, I guess, the desert world. Oh, and a battle instantly. So here we find out that Asshur is running this area. So we are going to go through this desert here. If you don't know the way, you can just walk around the outside, and you can eventually see Ashura's tower here from the bottom. But if you know how to get through the desert, you can just cross through it. As you can see, some of the lines were wavy and some were not moving. If you walk in the areas that weren't moving, like a cactus will like grab you and like throw you around. It's kind of weird. Yeah, some of the enemy names in this game are they're pretty probably not suitable nowadays. Alright, so we are here to defeat Asshur. That is why we're in the second world. We find out if you talk to townspeople, that if Ashura's tower is here and we should put a stop to him. So that is why we are here. here we're gonna get another agility weapon that we will put on our robot to make him even more powerful. So, also, yeah, robots gain HP based off of what they're equipped with too, so... So here we fight a woodman who will die. Oh, we missed, okay. I was gonna say he'll die from a saber, but I guess we'll get 2 rounds with him. And yes, people, as Mecha said in chat there, we acquired Blitz, which lowers agility, so it's not very useful. As Mecha was saying here, we are going to be trying to kill gods because once you use the Magi, you essentially become a mini-god. So, we are going to be fighting Asshur, who used some... We find out, if talking to townsfolk, he is a goblin that used the Magi and became a god. So we got another companion in the second world. The game is very generous with their companions to start the game off. So we have Mask, who looks nothing like Dad, and is definitely not Dad. And he's helping us climb the tower to defeat Asshur. He's very overpowered, as you see. He has 321 HP, and he has a hammer, which is like the first strength weapon of the game. It's one of the weakest, and he still does a ton of damage. So the rest of the equipment we're picking up, we're just gonna pick it up to sell it later because we have to buy a machine gun later. So because of course this game has guns, in case you're wondering. So this is Asshur. He takes up more than one space, so he's definitely a bad guy. So he was telling us that he shrunk some of his minions, went inside of Key's body to take the Magi out of her, and now he's gonna defeat us too. So Asshur's got 880 HP, I believe. Actually, having the Esper alive is actually good, because she can, she got mana stat, because I used a mana ability. But I was going to say she had a chance to learn a spell. Alright, so Mask leaves us, and we're like, oh no, Key's in trouble, let's go find her, or go talk to her. So we are going to go talk to her and see what's going on, see how she's doing. So we talk to the fairy, because if we talk to her it's just dots, she doesn't say anything. The fairy that blocked us earlier tells us, hey, you have to become... The giants know how to shrink themselves. Go to Giants World and learn how, pretty much. Oh yeah, here's a Magi. So now we have to go all the way to to Giants World to get the Micron to learn how to shrink ourselves. And in case I didn't mention it earlier, the Magi also act as like kind of like an invisible plot wall. You can't go on unless you get the Magi you need, the number of Magi. So right now we have, what, 15. So if we didn't talk to that fairy, we would only have 14, and we would not be able to go into this door. So we can't skip ahead or anything like that. I'll actually go out of the way and show you what it says if you try to go to the door. It just says we need more Magi to open this door. So it's just kind of invisible plot walls that you have to go step by step. So here we find real Dad, not Mask Dad, and he's telling us that, what are you guys doing here? You're collecting Magi too? You beat Asshur? Well, no one will think kids have this Magi. See you later. And just disappears. How did Magi softlock you, if you don't mind me asking? So after we talk to Dad, we can go to the back of the shop. If you go to the front of the shop and actually try to buy stuff, he sells a bunch of Giants equipment. So I don't know how you're supposed to realize you can go around, but you go all the way around and talk to him, and he's like, "Whoa, you shouldn't be back here." And then you ask him where he got the Giants equipment, and I guess you can wait then. You can tell me at the end. So he tells us that Johnny told him how to get into the Giants area. And so we go here and talk to Johnny. And Johnny's like, "Hey, there's a step that looks different. Go there." And he's like, "Do you think I'm a giant?" And if you say yes, he's just like, "Well, you're wrong." If you say no, then he's like, "Oh, well, here's another hint. You can climb the beds of the giants." So somehow, this secret door, you don't know it's a secret door unless you talk to Johnny. It's just kind of a block that you can talk to. So these little holes, I'm assuming, are like mouse holes, because these are giant houses. So here's their giant beds. We got some more Magi that they're just hanging out in treasure chests. I'm not sure what this is actually supposed to be that you go under. I don't know if, I don't know. So, we have to go to that one first to get 2 Magi, and if we go to this one, it actually says we need more Magi to open this door, which kind of doesn't make much sense, so... Oh, it is totally a table. I see that now. That makes sense. And then we can climb the shelf to get this eyeball. I always thought it was an eyeball. It's definitely it's the Micron potion. But, I always just thought it was an eyeball. Yeah, that's totally a table. That makes so much more sense than... I had no idea what it was. Alright, so let's leave. Look at that. 20 plus years of playing this game and I'm still learning things. I'd always thought when I was younger, I always thought that it was like the canopy of a bed if you have a big canopy over it, but it wouldn't make sense to have a canopy over a bed if you also have beds right next to it. So that's why I was always confused. Oh yeah, there are terrorists in here, by the way, so... Alright, so we got the Micron potion. We're gonna have to use it to shrink ourselves down. To go inside of Key's body also, to stop the Asshur's men from taking her Magi, and by doing so, we're actually going to take her Magi out of... She has Magi in her body, so... I'm not sure why, but she does. She was born with it, I think. So we have to do a little shopping first. We have to go buy our submachine gun to make our killer robot shoot stuff now instead of attack stuff with swords and bows. Yeah, so this says it's Final Fantasy Legend 2. It was localized for America to make it more appealing for people to buy it. Because Final Fantasy things. Alright, so we bought our submachine gun for our robot. So we're going to go inside of Key's mouth, and we go in through her mouth or her nose, I assume. And in case you're wondering, this is an actual... This is what the inside of your body looks like. You have stones in it. And this is what your body walls look like. And this part will put you to sleep if you stream this or watch this late at night, because it's this music and it's not the best. So she has 7 magi inside of her, and crabs. One in each hand, one in each foot, one in her heart, one in her crabs and worms now. She's got 1 in each hand, 1 in each foot, heart, stomach, and 1 in her brain. You can't go to her brain first, you have to go into it last, because the invisible plot wall of magi stops you. Oh, it gets worse than that. Oh, there it is. She's got terrorists inside of her and some horses. Yeah, she's a mess. She's got a lot going on. She's got rhinos in her, of course. So, oh, and samurais and terrorists too. So, she's feeling it. Actually, there's one more thing that she has that we haven't seen yet. So hopefully we see it. So the magi is always in the same spot in her hands and feet. So once you find it, you know where it is. She isn't a doctor. She just heals people because of the magi inside of her body. So. Yeah, they went all out for what's hurting Key. This is her heart, I assumed, because she has like 4 chambers of your heart. I always thought it was like a stomach, and for some reason they depicted it as like a cow's stomach with 4 stomachs, but then after growing up and not being a kid playing this game, I was like, oh, that's the 4 chambers of heart. That makes much more sense. Yeah, we are making her a normal human being. Oh, yep, she's got woodmen inside of her too. There's also one more thing that she still has. Maybe we'll see it. I hope there's still half of her body to go through, so there's still time to see the other. Oops, wrong one. There's still time to see what else she's got crawling around inside of her. So yeah, if you guys needed to study anatomy for any reason, you can just play Final Fantasy Legend 2, walk around the body, see what shouldn't be in here and everything, and there you go. So the terrorists actually get they get a real fancy name at the end of the game, because a lot of the enemies they just reskin and give them different names. So, well, they actually don't even reskin; they just give them different names. Yeah, this is her stomach and intestines we're going through right now. So we're going back and forth through her intestines to get to her stomach. Yeah, your teacher will be like, "What notes?" You can bring your notes to you can bring notes to your class. What are you gonna bring? I'll be like, "I'm gonna bring Final Fantasy Legend 2, please. I need to study the anatomy of Key's body." How do you exit the body? If for some reason you have to exit, you can go up towards like her mouth nose area where you entered it in, and just walk through the door there. After you get the last magi, the game automatically teleports you out. Alright, so I guess after this last magi in her foot, if we don't get what the other enemy is, I'll just talk about it, just because I can. if, like I said, if you try to go to her brain early... Oh, she also has conjurers and demons in her. Alright, one more, The other enemy I was talking about is you can actually run into, like, a robot inside of here. So, if you fight the robot, it's just like R3728 or something. Alright, so we're gonna go into her brain. I was not going to get Sleipnir if we get it, but I can see what we can do. If I do, it's going to make the run longer, so I would probably get yelled at for that. So I probably will not. So her body is defending her brain, nothing else. Alright, so we just shoot these cells and... Oh, and our Asshur is now weak to thunder. Alright, so we saved Key, but we've kind of, in my chat, realized that we actually ruined her life. People were visiting her all the time, and she was saving them and healing them. And then after we save her, no one's there. Like, she's literally left alone by herself. It's kind of sad. The sword demon inside of you. Yeah, so after Key's world, we just kind of keep going because it's a JRPG. What are you supposed to do? So she can find some cure books. I mean, I guess she could. So here is Apollo's world. We're going to be entering. And here we're going to meet Apollo and have some cool music. He's just talking to us. He's like, hey, thanks for beating Asshur. I don't need magi. Here's some. And here's some clues on how to find some. So he tells us one underground, one flames, and darkness shines brightly. So if we can solve these riddles, we can find the magi. And the music changed, so it's obviously he's not important at all. So we are first going to go underwater and listen to the exact same music we just listened to, because I know you guys are missing it. And we're just going to walk through this lava that recently I decided that how we survive on this lava is we are just kind of jump on top of our robot's back and go over across the lava. That's how I kind of assumed. Hey, thanks for the good luck on the run. I appreciate it. And hello. So we are picking up more treasures to sell, so we can make our robot even more of a killer. Yeah, this is not Final Fantasy Adventure, this is Final Fantasy Legend 2. So we are going through the riddles right now that Apollo gave us. So the first one is about a volcano underground, a cave that shines brightly in the darkness, and then just like a cave. So we get the True Eye Magi there, which makes it so we can see in the dark in this next cave coming up. So we are going. This cave you could not usually. Well, you can go into it if you don't have the Magi, but you would not be able to go through it. If anyone's got like issues with moving things, you should probably look away from this dungeon. I'll just throw that out there, I guess. And I'm actually going to save because this is the first dungeon that you can get surprise attacked in. If you don't have the True Eye Magi, you can go through the first floor, but you can't go on. Even if you have the cave memorized, you have to get the True Eye Magi first. Yeah, this, when I was a kid, I would always try to go down with the blocks so it looked like it was moving with me. Because, you know, kid things. Like this. Those saber cats there are the enemies that can surprise attack us. Whoops. So here we are getting the laser sword, which we will be equipping on our robot. The laser sword is like as everything else is agility based and will make our robot even more stronger. Sorry about that if you heard that. Doggo. So here we're gonna find more Magi that Apollo told us about. Thanks, Elmagus. Alright, so we're almost out of the dungeon. So if you don't want to look, you can start to look now. Oh, and get it into battle instantly. So the game is very unforgiving with battles as well. Sometimes you can load a game, and as soon as you load the game, you can get into battle. So this next mini-boss we're coming up to is a giant robot as well, like our robot. His name is Donatus, and he has he's kind of very unique in this game that he is set for whatever reason to, if you have an Esper in your team, she can learn any spell in the game from him. Usually there's a set number of spells that Espers can learn. You know, if it's a low-level enemy, they can only learn low-level spells, but he has set that you can learn any spell in the game from him, so hopefully we get something good. The main prize that you want to get if you're speedrunning is teleport. It saves about 3 minutes if you get it, but it's such a low chance to get it. The plot of this game is we are picking up Magi to stop people from using it to become gods, so to kind of like help the world better. And we're trying to find our dad. We found our dad already, and he told us that like, hey, you should just keep collecting that Magi. So, we are not using the Magi, so we're not going to become gods. Well, our dad had a human, and we recruited the other people. So here is the robot that can teach our guys anything. And she learned nothing. Alright, so we actually find Dad here, and he's bumming around in a place like this. We thought he was a hero. So our dad's actually been here the whole time with another woman and a kid. Well, human doesn't have to be the main character. That's who I made the main character. So we're gonna buy some more stuff for the robot. Barely enough. To make the robot even more strong. Whoops. So yeah, Dad has a secret family, and that's where we're just like, what are we gonna do? And we're like, whatever, let's just collect this Magi, what else can we do? Deadbeat Dad indeed. So we bought 2 headbutts and a laser sword for our robot to give him even more agility, to make him go even faster and deal even more damage. Hopefully for the next big boss, so we can 3-round the boss instead of 4-round it. So if we got teleport from the robot there, this walk we're doing, we would actually have to do it a second time, but you can just like teleport out of it, so. Here, this is Guardian's world, we find out later. So here you have to talk to the jukebox and actually change the song. And we find out that we're spies. You find out this because if you talk to the bartender, he's like, want a hint? Play some music. Alright, so our dad is here again somehow. We get thrown in jail and he lets us out. And they call him Captain and we're like, what's going on? And then he just runs away again. Because, you know, Dad. Deadbeat Dad indeed. So here we find Dad, and he's like, hey, you must be tired to go to bed. So, like all good dads, he just tells us to go to bed. And then explosions and stuff happens. Alright, so we're going to be fighting a couple mini-bosses. They're not really mini-bosses, they're just enemies. And we get some more Magi from them. Oh, there's Dad. And he's like, new gods sent us, or found us, they sent people. Let's go stop them. And Dad joins our team again. So, as you see, the robot is just plowing through enemies, just killing them one by one. So if you guys can help me, what is the magician? What is like the banana looking shape on the bottom? Is it like a skirt? I was trying to figure it out the other day and I don't know what they're wearing. There we got Blitz again. So as you see there, you can learn the same spell more than once. So Dad's going with us. A robe and shoes. So I'm going to move Thunder to the bottom because you can the way that your learning spells in this game works is it just erases the lowest spell you have on the Esper. So by replacing the bottom spell of being weak to Thunder, that will be replaced. There we go. We're strong against Paralyzed now. So I might as well move that around because that's better than having 2 blitzes. A banana for scale? Probably, actually. That's a good point. So Dad actually gives us some backstory coming up here on why he was with Lynn and her mom. I guess I'll save just in case. I don't think I can die to the ninja, but you never know, I guess. So, we find out that Lynn's dad was missing, and that our dad, he was a guardian with our dad to help to prevent people from getting the Magi. So he stepped in as a father figure to help Lynn's mom raise Lynn. So he wasn't technically cheating on our mom, he was just helping them since the other father died. Oh, and the ninja can get an unexpected attack on you if you want. We'll just use a laser sword. But if you notice there, Dad actually turned into a nuke bomb and blew up the ninja, but that did not kill him, just laser swords can. Can I get some Bible thumps for the music in chat, please? Since Dad sacrificed himself for us and Lynn, so you can listen to the sad music. If you talk to Lynn's mom, the music keeps playing until you leave this world. If you talk N, it's faster. But if you talk to Lynn, you lose the music and it's actually longer cutscenes. So yeah, Dad's redemption arc. If this was an anime, this would have been Dad's redemption arc for sure. We find out that he's not a bad guy. He was just trying to help out his friend's daughter, and sacrificed himself for us. Without sadness, we wouldn't have joy. There you go. So this is Venus's world. Flip the switch real quick. In Venus's world, there is 2 main cities. There's this giant metropolis that is where Venus resides, and she only allows beautiful people into her city. So she kicks anyone out that's ugly, and she says that we're allowed to stay here because we defeated Asshur and he was ugly. So this is the first point in this game as a kid that I got like really stuck, because there's no like clear thing you have to do. So the first thing you have to do, you actually have to talk to Venus, or you cannot go out this gate. Yeah, don't mind the typos there. So you have to talk to Venus before you can leave the gate. And then in this town that people call like the dirty town, you have to talk to Leon, and he tells you that he was exiled because he had a broken leg, and he's worried about Flora. If you don't talk to him, you can't go into the sewers, which we're going next. Alright, so we can start getting unexpected attacked a bunch more now, so... And we actually need to eat hermit meat in here. We're going to be fighting a hermit, and it's a fixed encounter, so that's why eating the baby wyvern meat's not a huge deal if you want, because it's fixed, so you can eat some meat. So if you don't talk to Leon, you actually can't go in the sewers. It just says, like, do not enter, you're not allowed, or something bizarre like that. So the MacGuffin is talking to Leon, so you can go into the sewer. What if I want to be a robot? Beep boop, beep boop. You didn't know the jukebox had more than 2 songs? Oh man. when I was little, because I could barely read when I got this because of my brothers, like they got it this game and I just played it. I didn't know that when your inventory was full, like that you couldn't pick up items. Alright, so let's hope for some hermit meat. I don't remember if I saved. I think I did, but I'll do it again. So let's so we need hermit meat here to turn our silver back into a baby dragon. Whoops, and I gave it to the robot by accident because I didn't press up twice. So, whoops. Good thing I got some time. All part of the manipulation. There you go. I was trying to feed that robot that meat. The first character has no items because the character does not do anything for most of the game, honestly. So we need the key from that hermit so we can come in this area and get some treasure, which is magi, of course. If we open that fourth chest, it's a mimic. And sorry, the robot's eating in chat is making me laugh, and I appreciate it. But the fourth chest in both of these rooms is a mimic, so we do not want to talk to those. So again, we're just picking up some magi because people shouldn't have it, I guess. I'm not a microwave. Nice. So you need to have your monster be a baby dragon of some sort, so we can evolve it in the next world. The first character is just a meat shield for now. Same with the second character. Most of the damage is going to be done by the robot for the game, and some damage will be done from the monster later too. Alright, so after we go out of the sewers, we come talk to Flora, who we find out she has to marry Niles, which is the imp on the other side of this, with the castle thing here, even though she's in love with Leon. So, of course, since you talk to her, volcanoes are going to magically appear because, why not? Volcanoes always appear, I guess. So, again, naturally, since a volcano is appearing, you should probably just go to it, because why not? Story. I mean, they don't ever clarify why the oh, actually they do, I'm sorry. If you actually talk to every single person, and you can look, and there's a memo section on your menu, it actually says something about there's been a lot of tremors in the area, or something like that. So, yeah, the encounter rate is definitely bonkers. It's, like I said earlier, I don't know if everyone was here, the encounter rate's really high to make the game seem longer than it actually is. The last time you saw a volcano appear, you magically ran to it too. Yeah, I mean, they appear all the time, especially when you talk to people that are about to get married, forcefully married. Is this a good game? It's a game. It's not bad. I have very, very big nostalgia glasses for this game, so it's good to me, but... Oh yeah, we're just walking casually through a volcano again, by the way. So we are making our way through this volcano. Yeah, it's not a terrible story. It's like this Venus's World has a good story. The overarching story is average. Final Fantasy Legend 2 is my favorite Final Fantasy Legend out of the three, for sure. Yeah, if only. Oh yeah, so there's a guy behind us if you haven't noticed. It is Leon. He is following us for some reason, and we don't know. We don't notice it for some reason. It's kind of like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. The first time you watch it, he just kind of flashes on screen, and you're like, "Wait a second, did I just see him? I think I did. I'm not sure." So that's where they got the idea from, is from Final Fantasy Legend 2. In case you're wondering. It's a fact. Alright, so here we are going to get some more Magi, and as soon as we take the Power Magi, Leon punches us and takes it out of our hand, and then just runs away. So we go, and we're gonna go hang out and see what Venus is up to. Oh, and get unexpected attacked. Which one of each is not the worst? You can't get unexpected attack and have like a group of like 20. Well, not that many, but like 12, and it takes a long time. Again, for anyone that wasn't here, we can run so easily from everything because it's based off of your agility, and our robot has massive agility right now. So you can run away from stuff pretty easily right now. Alright, so I think it's a poison worm, to be fair. Alright, so here we're gonna talk to Venus, and she's like, "We're gonna marry Niles and Flora, why don't you hang out here and watch it?" So she's gonna marry them. Flora's like, "I don't want to, no objections, you're getting married." And Flora, you hear Leon coming in, and he's like, "I'm gonna defeat you with this Magi." He gets Magi and a knife and tries to kill Venus, and she just smacks him away. And Flora's like, "I'll marry Niles, just forgive him, it's fine." So she's like, "Don't question me." And she's like, "You know what, I do love Leon. I'm not doing this." So she grabs a knife, cuts her face, and she's like, "I have a scar, I'm ugly now, you gotta kick me out." And Venus is like, "That's unforgivable, I'm just gonna kill you all." That's my translation of it. I hope it was a good translation for you guys. So this is Venus. We're going to just be attacking her and killing her with laser swords. So Flame can be good because it kills everyone but the robot, but we don't want to see two flames. Okay, so we're good then. Yeah, we did have SMG guns earlier. There's muskets also, so... Yeah, this boss music is still one of my favorite boss musics to this day. But so that was a very clean Venus fight. She made it a little faster by actually killing everyone and then not doing anything. So because she killed them, I didn't have to sit there and pick what they were gonna do, and then they didn't have to do nothing in the fight. So I don't think she can drop an item. But she can. My Esper could have learned a spell from her, but since the Esper was dead, I did not learn anything. Which is fine. the Esper's going to learn plenty of spells at the point we reach the game where you can't run from anything. So here coming up, I'm going to be needing a lot of RNG blesses in chat because, or any kind of RNG emotes you have, because I need to get a meat drop again, and this meat drop kills runs constantly, and it's not fun. So hopefully it goes good for me. I've seen it get it first try, and I've seen it go like, you know, 40 plus tries. So hopefully we get the earlier rather than the later. A charm will make your, like, it'll charm your guys, but my robot cannot be charmed. So here is the dragon race. You're here for the trolling, alright. So here's the dragon race. You can pick one of 4 dragons. Depending which one you pick depends how fast they go. So I picked this one because you can run away from the one mini-boss here. So we'll just run from this mini-boss. Get Agility Magi. The more expensive the dragon, the faster they are, too. The DS remake I've heard is okay. It's definitely different. So we're gonna save here before the first one mini-boss thing area. We're gonna fight some Lamias. We have to just... Oh, so you reset if you get 3 or 4, because A, you usually can't take them, or B, it takes way too long. 1 or 2 you can do pretty easily, though. If you actually have teleport on here, you can glitch the game and teleport out of... Why is it giving me blitz so much? If you teleport out while you're riding a dragon, you can, sorry, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. You can be riding the dragon outside of the battles, and you can just go through walls and just glitch through everything. It's pretty funny. Alright, so here is where we need all of those blesses that you guys put in chat for this watcher right here. Alright, we got 1, so that's a very good start. You guys did it. I'm proud of you. Easy game. Easy game. So, the watcher we're actually going to use for a really long time. He has really powerful attacks, he can stone enemies, and more importantly is he has warning, and warning makes it so he cannot get surprise attacked anymore. So I know I've seen it take up to like 30 plus tries to get meat to drop there, so... You guys did it. I didn't do it at all. You guys did. This is not a good run now. If you looked at my splits, you would see this is not a good run now, but I'll say it's a good run, so... But it's a run, for sure. But first try watcher meat is definitely nice. Like I said, I've seen it take 5 minutes to get that meat to drop. Because if you run 3 or 4, it's less than ideal. So he has beam, so he's just gonna be shooting stuff with his eyeball beam. Oh, we got a katana, and I got paralyzed again. So here is this is the Edo area. We are fighting some Hamatos. They're trying to beat stuff up, so we beat them up, and Hannah comes to save us, and she's like, we're like, you're cool. And she's like, no, you're cool. Ooh, I have like no money. So here is, we learn that the Hamatos are kind of running stuff, and where if you talk to people, actually, I'm gonna talk to one real quick because I have time. It might be this robot. Beep boop bop boop. Come here. Oh, nope, it's the guy that's outside. So this is Ichigoya. He sells good stuff. There you go. Oh, I want to eat bananas. I don't know why, but bananas are not allowed in this world. Paul, it was a one watcher. So we find out that bananas are not allowed in this world for some reason. In the original version, it was opioids were not allowed, but in America we can't have drugs in the 90s, so they switched it from opioids to bananas. So Hannah here tells us that Ichigoya is smuggling stuff in, so we're just gonna stick our nose in it and go talk to Ichigoya. Black tar bananas. I love it. So if you talk to Ichigoya, we're like, when's the next shipment? He's like, alright, it's in the harbor. So we go down to the harbor, and we're gonna see what's going on. And we're gonna fight some infested if we want. So here's a turtle walking around. We can talk to him if we want, but we don't have to. That's Kami. He's a friend of Hannah. We find out he's like, Hannah's on the boat. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Because naturally that's what you do if your friend just goes and jumps on a boat. You're just like, what do I do? And just stand on shore. Extra pure crystal bananas. Whoops, totally missed it. We're going to get some treasures here. I like turtles. That's a meme. Definitely keeping the memes alive there. Yeah, the swords totally look like they're drunk. So we get a laser gun here. We're gonna get a tank here, because naturally there's just tanks cruising around in a boat. And we're gonna get the Hectite boot, which we will save for much later. And here we're gonna find some random guy. And it says Taro, and he's like, save me from Ichigo. Uh-oh, it's okay. This ship, I'm gonna slow it down, is full of bananas. We can arrest Ichigoya, man. We found the bananas. Let's hurry. Let's take him to court. Got the bananas. So here I'm just doing a little equipping. I put the tank on the first unit because the tank has a 70% chance to block physical attacks, I think. I put the Aegis Magi on the second unit because if you use the Aegis Magi in battle, you will your units will be protected from magic spells. And then I put the Cat Claw on the robot because it's the highest agility based damage in the game. I do not know anyone that runs the DS version of this game. Alright, so this is the courtroom, or the courtyard, I guess. And she's like, we found some bananas, Judge, go arrest them. He's like, you know what? You did a good job, Hannah. Kami's like, yo, we did it, good job. Ichigo's like, what are you talking about? I got no bananas. He's like, what are you talking about? I came straight from the store. I had no place to hide this stuff. And the judge is like, alright, Ichigo, you're free. The DS version did not come out in America. So Kami went to try to find out what was happening. He got flattened like a turtle. He just like looks like he's like literally smashed. So we hide him in the bed. The officer's like, yo, we saw someone that looks like him. And they were like, I don't know. He went on a date. And the officer's like, give it up. Some big guys are concerned. So there's some bad guys. Some big bad guys involved. Alright, so we're gonna go visit Ichigoya again. But this time we're going with Hannah, so... Alright, yeah, Hannah. Yeah, the turtle definitely disappears easily, and there's a giant lump in the bed, but officers can't see that. We got the drunk sword, as chat has called it. The first unit's actually going to stay blind the rest of the game, because the tank does not affect, you don't need... It's 100% accuracy, I believe, so... So we're going to have some nice fourth wall breaking coming up here. I don't need to, but I'm probably going to save before this mini-boss, just for whatever reason, if something actually bad happens, which I don't think it ever has and never will, but why not? That's what I'm supposed to say in a marathon, right? Like, this has never happened before. Alright, so here we find actually the Shogun and Ichigo are working together with the bananas. And they're just keeping the police quiet, getting extra money, and it's like, ho ho, we're so evil. Good job, haha. And then all of a sudden we change the music, and the game actually signifies that. What is this music? So I guess our robot just presses a button on himself, beep boop bop boop, new music, and changes the music. So we're gonna fight Ichigoya and the Hamatos. So Semi's gonna take out the Ichigoya, and Bick is gonna beam the Hamatos and just kill them all. Alright, we got a punch. Oh. Explode. Interesting. Alright. So we talked to Hannah, and we found out that Taro is also a guardian like our dad. And he's like, yo, how's your dad doing? And we're like, oh, he's dead. And they're like, sorry to hear that. Let's go beat up that Shogun. So we're gonna go beat the Shogun up. Explode can be useful in certain situations, not really for this occasion. Explode, you kill yourself and kill everyone on screen, but we'll kill all the bad guys on screen, but it doesn't really affect anything right now. So now we're gonna listen to some Guardian music for a while. And get into 1,000,008 battles. So we're gonna go into the Edo Palace, I guess. Alright, we're gonna fight some guards. Actually, let's see if I can explode them. So as you see there, the tank's defending. Nothing happened with the bananas. So Terra blows up her body, and there you go. Alright, having explode helped. The shaky screen from the Marasamune from Taro, it does critical damage against human-type enemies, so that's why it got like a critical. They don't ever talk about bananas again. So actually, if you think about it, Terra, our Esper, must have learned that spell from watching Dad blow himself up to save us. There you go. Everything's connected. Sorry, so we are going up, this place, this world also, when I was younger, definitely, this game definitely, or this area definitely confused me a lot as a kid. This is the first dungeon where there's branching paths. It's not, like, very, it's not very hard, but as a kid, like, having not just a straightforward way to go for the first time is, it hurts the brain a little bit, so... This and all the random people you have to talk to in certain areas in this game, this level, this world and Venus's world were definitely the two that stopped me the most as a kid, just trying to figure out who I had to talk to in what order. But once you figure it out, it's easy. There's lots of treasure we're skipping in here because I don't need them. So the thing that can slow you down a lot here in the speedrun is if you run into the battle that I fought at the beginning of like the knight, the stone man, and the... was it a ninja? It wasn't a ninja, whatever he is. If you run into that fight while climbing... oh, there you go, it is a ninja. If you run into that fight here, you actually have to fight it. You can't run from it because it's flagged as the entrance fight, so... Alright, we're strong against quick now, which I guess I'll keep instead of blitz. We are going to go get a treasure that I missed a lot when I was a kid. Yeah, you know what? I thought I heard something, and if it did, it was one of someone in my house, and I apologize for that. 4th queen. I actually have to fight this fight too. So again, this is flagged as the entrance fight, so... and they killed my person that has tank, so I have to go extra rounds with it. I will keep Stone Gaze, so... for the off chance that I can actually stone. So that samurai bow, I actually missed it a lot as a kid. So here we're going to be fighting Shogun. The samurai bow makes our agility even higher, so we can easily defeat Shogun. So we find out that Shogun's not the real bad guy. Whoa, my house sounds like it's like blowing up. So here we find out Magnate is the real bad guy. So here's Magnate. He can be mean if he wants to. He has a spell Tornado that even if you casually are playing this game, it will kill you in like two hits. We want him to use Ice, Thunder, or Physical, like his Katana the most. My whole team's protected from elemental attacks because I used the Aegis Shield, which is why he's that did nothing. And then he missed the first turn by trying to attack the robot with the Katana because the robot's agility is so high. Alright, so that's Magnate. That, for whatever reason when I was a kid, just like everything else, he definitely killed me a lot. It made me sad. This area coming up next, this world, is, I didn't fight the dolphin statue, I'm sorry. If you fight the dolphin statues on either side of Magnate, your characters can learn, or your espers can learn random stats, and they don't do anything. So, and this is the nasty dungeon. If you go through it, it is 10 floors long, and it's very hard. There's tons of treasure in there, and it's awesome, but it takes way too long, so... If you're going through the nasty dungeon and make it to the end, that fairy at the beginning, if you talk to her, she's like, "Man, that's a nasty dungeon, you shouldn't go into it." And if you try to go through it and get to the end, she's like, "Hey, I told you it was nasty, didn't I?" And if you say no, she actually teleports you back into the middle of the dungeon. And if you say yes, she's like, "See, I told you." And then that's it. Alright, so since everyone's talking about it, we're going to be fighting Odin here. If you die during the game at all, you actually get teleported here to Valhalla, and you do it through a little mini cutscene. If you go through a little cutscene and he's like, hey, you know, how's it going? I'll bring you back to life if you promise to fight me someday. So, that's what happens. If you don't die during the game, when you talk to Odin in this, when we're going to fight him, you just instantly go into the fight. And he can actually surprise attack you, but since we have warning on the Watcher, we can't get surprise attacked. If you did die during the game, he'll be like, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. I told you, you promised you'd fight me someday, so let's get on with it. And as everyone is saying, Odin is, he's pretty difficult actually. He is not alone. So he's the first boss. Actually, he's the only boss in this game that has, he's the only boss in this game that has people with him, so there is multiple targets. So that's what makes it very hard, especially for the speedrun. So through a normal playthrough, if you didn't have warning, you would probably be saving often because just the chance of getting surprise attacked, you could wipe even with best equipment. You guys could get stoned or anything like that, so having warning makes it so you can just skip fights and just walk and run, like you don't have to do anything. Alright, so here we're coming up to Odin, and hopefully he's kind. So we are going to take out the Sleipnir and the Odin Crow first. The Odin Crow we're taking out with the Samurai Bow, and hopefully, that's not the best. So we did get Aegis off, but we didn't kill the Sleipnir first, so we sadly have to take an extra turn to kill it, and then the robot is going to attack Odin. And Odin's deciding he wants to use a spear now. Oh man, it's falling apart fast. So we want to see any spells from Odin, not his spear. And there's still technically a chance. Oh man, the game's actually doing it. Wow. So you can actually get Sleipnir meat there, and if you get it, you can transform your monster into something even more powerful. I don't know who discovered this, but if you use the Pegasus Magi, which you can teleport through towns, you can, you teleport to Valhalla, and it takes you to the end of Valhalla, instead of the end, or it takes you to the exit instead of the entrance. So it saves a ton of time of having to actually walk out. Yeah, I don't understand how that happened, but thanks, Odin, for being kind and using only spells. So he can use Ice, Thunder, Lightning. He can cure, and he can use his Guntnir Spear. His spear is pretty mean. It can he can just sit there and just literally just start stabbing and killing one by one. So here we find Apollo again, and we find out that he's like, hey, I have the last Magi right here. And he's like, give me it. And he's like, fine, come, my man. And he summons minions to attack us. So for whatever reason, the developers decided to not make minion strong against stone, so we can actually stone gaze it. So he's like, you're strong. He's like, you know what? Give me the Magi or I'll kill all these people. He doesn't say that, but that's how I interpret it. He's like, I'm gonna kill these people. Give me that Magi. So we give him the Magi, and it's like, oh no, everything's ruined, life's over. And then Fox McCloud comes in and he's like, don't lose hope, son. Or James McCloud. That's what I always pictured, like James McCloud when Fox and Star Fox kills him, or kills Andros. He's like, don't lose hope, and just like appears out of nowhere. That's what I assume Dad does there. He just kind of appears out of nowhere. And just like that, Dad is alive, actually. Dad is alive and well. He's just kind of been chilling in the last world, I guess, hanging out. And he's not deadbeat dad anymore, he's awesome dad. One of those minions is lazy, definitely. So we're in the final dungeon, and this is called the final world if you actually look it up, so... Which it is not the final world, or the final dungeon, or the final town, but that's what it's called. Alright, so we're going to equip now. So Dad is getting this Hectite boot to make his mana stronger, and the flare book so he can just destroy stuff. Our robot is getting this karate to make his agility even higher. Any barrel rolls coming? I don't know. Dad probably has a friend, a lady friend here. You know what? He might. So Dad, by the way, for lore's sake, tells us, hey, by the way, we just told everyone there was only 77 Magi. There's actually 78. So let's go get the last one. So that's why we're going through the final dungeon to get the last Magi. You can get surprise attacked in here by cockatrices and watchers, and they could stone your team. But since we have warning, we just kind of run through it. I will get the extra armor here to sell to make sure we have enough monies. But I think I should be good on money. Yeah, so I don't know if they are supposed to be faces, but as a kid, the walls definitely moved, and they were faces to me, and they will always be faces to me. I don't know if they're supposed to be, but that's what they look like to me. Yeah, so Dad is not deadbeat dad anymore. He's whoop, go left there. We probably should leave the last one alone, but... You know, it's JRPG, you gotta get them. They're definitely faces? Alright. I don't know what they could be, but I just assumed they could be something else, just because... Alright, so this room, if you go left or right, there's actually a hidden passage to go up above the exit to get the Excalibur, but we don't need an Excalibur, because Excalibur is strength-based and it never misses, but strength is awful, so we don't need it. The screaming walls, they are. There's a possibility it could be potatoes, because that potato definitely has a face. They are people deprived of, or that didn't get bananas, or the people that got too many bananas. So, Warmac here, we can actually stone him too, so the game developers didn't think that far ahead. And I didn't heal ahead of time, so I'm healing now. And he's gonna use a nuke bomb on us instead, so... So we can either make it a fast fight by stoning him, or we can just cat claw him to death. I'll try one more time to stone him, and then I'll just attack him. Oh, never mind, I'll just attack him now. So yeah, for whatever reason, the developers of this game decided to not make two of the last bosses immune to stone, so... And he's just guarding the Heart Magi because the Heart Magi, if you use it in battle, when you equip it. It brings everyone back to life with full life. Alright, now we get to do one last shopping trip before the end of the game. We're just buying lots of laser guns, pretty much. Hopefully. Alright, so we equip the first one with the laser gun for more damage, and then our robot just becomes a laser gun machine. So agility caps at 99, but when you equip stuff over the 99, it still calculates it. So by having all of those laser guns on, it makes our robot's agility really, really high, so he does a lot of damage. So I'm not going to use all these, but I'm going to buy them just for safety. By equipping all the laser guns too, it makes our robot have a ton of HP. Which makes it... Oh, I forgot to equip the Heart Magi. So I'm going to equip the Heart Magi actually on the Watcher. The Watcher is going to take a lot less damage from magic attacks, and it will heal a lot faster. So that's why we're going to do that. Also, I hope you guys really like the sound of laser guns, because you're going to be hearing them a lot. Alright, let's hope for an easy Apollo. So we tell him, like, hey, don't use the Magi, we still have one. And he's like, what are you talking about? I already used it. And we're like, let's see what happens. And we're like, alright, I guess. So Apollo says he can't be damaged. So we're just going to shoot him with laser guns and flare him. So I hope you like the sound, like I said, of laser guns and flares, because you're going to be hearing them a lot. Oh, the person that was here earlier that said they soft-locked, you said you soft-locked around this area? When did, or how did you soft-lock, if you don't mind me asking? You said you would mention it later. Alright, so Apollo's talking about how he can't be hurt, his weapon's so strong, and all this stuff, and all the while we're just shooting him with lasers. So for 5 turns, he just sits there and talks trash on you, pretty much. And we just beat up on him. Yeah, they do pretty decent damage, so, and they're fixed, so. Okay. That seems weird. So since the music changed, we can actually hit him with our Cat Claw now and do even more damage. So now that he's transformed, he starts attacking. So he'll just do a rotation of use the Mass Immune and then use Flare. But since we did so much damage with the laser guns, he's actually going to start melting already. He's like, we have the last one, you don't have all the Magi. And he's like, what? This is bananas. That was my dad joke for the stream. So we just run, and he actually melts even more. And then Dad, he blows up, and Dad jumps in front of everyone to save us all. Dad fell right on. So Dad protected us all. So maybe some more Bible thumps for Dad again. So we tell him we're going to use the Magi and everything. Yeah, Apollo step 2 is, or that time we fight Apollo, it is either fixed, or it is set damage or a number of turns. So if you just sit there and heal every single turn, he'll eventually just melt also. So I hope you like shaking the screens and this music, because this is what you're going to hear for the rest of the game. Yeah, that is true, Farron. If your dad is the only one alive, he still sacrifices himself when you lose the battle. Alright, so at this point of the game, you cannot run from any fights, so we're not gonna... we have to fight everything. So our human and Esper are gonna start getting massive HP stats because we're so under-leveled that they are going to gain HP after every fight, pretty much. Oh yeah, and Isis has joined our party. That's the goddess of Isis. The goddess Isis is summoned if you use all of the Magi. It talks about it here and there, like background lore, so it actually is mentioned throughout the game. Oh, I actually got Flare for my mutant, or my Esper, even though it doesn't matter, because her mana stat is 7. So yeah, if you look at Isis, she has all the everything. She has 99 stats, 999 HP, and all the best spells. Alright, so I only have 5 flares, so that's why I bought all the elixirs. And so she's just going to be spamming flare over and over again. I do not need to eat meat. I only need to eat one more piece of meat to make my Watcher useful. So the next mini-boss coming up, Taelong, we have to eat the meat of him, and it will transform our Watcher into a Madam Butterfly. Oh yeah, it's Elixir, not Elixir, I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe Pokemon stole it from this game? Actually, change is pretty good too. Getting some useful things. Yeah, Isis is an Egyptian goddess, so they use a lot of random mythologies throughout this game. Alright, 2 flares left. Well, 1 flare left. So the next screen we will fight another mini-boss. You can fight up to 1 to 4 of them, and they always have a meat drop, so that's good they always have a meat drop. Seeing 4 of them, you just instantly reset, because you can use Tornado, and Tornado hits everyone and does about like 700 damage. Even Isis, so... all the HP. Alright, so first mini-boss. Alright, we cannot fight 4, so you can lose a ton of time here too. I'll try to fight 2. See what the game wants to do. Okay, that's a good first step. So that's not what we want to see, Tornado. But, Vika's still alive, so that's good. That is not good. See, so if you die after Odin's dead, you just literally just die. Alright, 1 is much better. That's what we like to see. Alright, so we got Madam Butterfly, which is, that's what we're going to use at the end of the game. It's, it has Absorb, so it actually the damage it deals and gains HP back. So for the last boss, which we have nothing to heal with, it is very, very good. Since she can heal herself then. Alright, one flare left. Yeah, Madam as a butterfly is a pretty good combo name. Alright, last flare, then we get to heal up again. So the ones that are really good are Madam, Slime God is really good too. There's also a couple that are really good enemies, or monsters that have like Flare and Cure and Absorb. So as you see, like I said, our human and our Esper gain an HP pretty much after every fight. The Esper is going to have less HP. The Esper's stats growth are a lot lower than the human stat growth in this game. Since I didn't mention that an hour and 40 minutes ago. Alright, 2 flares left. Thanks for the good luck. 1 flare left. Alright, so I didn't even move. Well, I did move. Oh yeah, so this is one of the enemies I was going to show off. When you fight the terrorist at the end of the game, they're actually the SS, so whoever said they saw, you saw Hitler faces in the last dungeon, it made me laugh, because this is what I thought of instantly. So I just used heart because I don't have any more flares. Alright, so now we're gonna fight Fenrir. He's another mini-boss that automatically drops meat and has tornado, so... Oops, I used heart instead. Well, hopefully I use the heart spell after... Oh, nope. I just wanted to save a flare, that's why I did that. Oh, I lost charm and gained charm, cool. So in this game with your spells that you're, the monsters, there's like a certain level of monster you can be. So the highest class is like an A monster, and the only way you can get to the class A monster is if you eat the meat from the mini bosses. So there's only two, like if you have a 4 monster party, there's only 2 like tier A class monsters you can have. The next highest would be B, and then it goes like 8 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I run into the Haniwa, I will fight it for you guys. The Haniwa is an optional boss that randomly shows up. So, how much is left in the run? Let's go with 5 minutes. Yeah, the Honey was a optional boss that shows up that has a chance to drop 7 sword. Man, I lost Charm and gained Charm again. So the 7 sword that the Honey was dropped, I've actually never gotten it. When I would even grind for it, I've never gotten it. Alright, let's hope Arsenal decides to be kind. So this is the last boss. It's Arsenal. It's a security system that's shaking the world. Its first phase, it has 4 cannons. Each cannon has 1000 HP. So ideally we would like to take out one before it does damage, but free boss, yeah, it's something like that. So the last phase of this boss, it can do whatever it wants, pretty much. Its last attack, when I get to it, I'll explain how dumb it is. Man, my robot's Alright, so it switches to its second phase. It does a single target smasher attack. Oh, the Madam Butterfly also has heal, so a single target smasher attack. So the tank can block it sometimes, and the butterfly can heal itself, and the robot's usually too fast. I do not know of anyone that runs the DS remake. So Isis is fighting the second arsenal, because there's 2 of them. So the big smasher attack does anywhere from... Oh, I got max damage roll on my robot, awesome. It does anywhere from 63 to 639 damage, and it's completely random, and there's nothing you can do about it, so... So now at this point, since it's just the butterfly, you just have to hope and pray that it doesn't go back to back, or you don't miss with your absorb spell. Or you get low damage rolls. Oh, you got it back to back. Let's see it. And that's time. I don't know how, but we pulled it off. Madam Butterfly is just too strong. So we talked to Isis, and she's like, hey, I gotta fix everything. Hey, thanks for all the GGs. Yeah, Bic's just too strong, man. He's just an absorbing machine. Yeah, getting hit with 4 cannons in the first turn is definitely less than ideal. Because you want to try to keep your humans alive as long as possible, just to do extra damage. So, oh yeah, Dad's alive, by the way. He got healed, so shoutouts to Dad, you know. He's the true hero of this game, as much as we talk trash on him for being a deadbeat dad. Yeah, Dad sacrifices himself twice, saves the world, and wants to go back to hang out with Mom, so... So yeah, I play this game a lot too much, so thanks for hanging out. Any questions, feel free to ask, and thanks for organizing this and having me on again. It's fun. Maybe I'll try to learn something fancy to try to do next year or something. I'll do a 5-hour 4 human run or something. I don't want to do that, but thanks again, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. And I think that's all I got. Thanks again.